refrigerant of choice in the retrofitting of the cars as we lose CFC-12. So it is the only refrigerant identified by the auto manufacturers.
And these systems were only designed to work with the approved refrigerants.
They were only designed to work with CFC-12, so you need to follow the retrofit instructions when you're going to do a retrofit.
Now, we can sit here all day and tell you all about the dangers of using alternate refrigerants, but like the old saying goes, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and we've got a very graphic picture, well, a video clip to show you. Now, this feature shows what could happen to any car or truck, any make, model, or year, to any mechanic, experienced or novice, young or old. It's not a matter of the quality or lack of quality in the manufacturer's air conditioner. It simply could happen. This video piece was done to help educate the mechanic and the auto tech student and to illustrate potential dangers. Here's Jack Joyce, automotive instructor with Central Piedmont Community College, with the presentation.
We've set up a demonstration today to explore the possibilities of what might occur if we were using flammable alternative refrigerants in an automotive air conditioner. The evaporator core in an air conditioning system is the fourth most likely cause of leaks, and anything that leaks from the evaporator core has the potential to leak into the passenger compartment of the automobile. For this demonstration, we're going to introduce 3 cans of a flammable alternative refrigerant into the passenger compartment of this automobile. Now, that's the normal charge amount for this particular air conditioner. We're going to use a standard automotive ignition coil and 1 spark plug as our source of ignition. Once we've introduced this flammable refrigerant into the passenger compartment, we'll ignite it with our spark plug and we'll see what happens. Well, I think you can see the results of our test. You know, actually, we were only able to get 2 of the 3 cans of refrigerant into the insides of the car. Things like this are outside possibilities in real life, but anytime you're using flammables in an enclosed area, these things can occur. And I think you can see the need for using only approved automotive refrigerants.
No doubt. Well, that was amazing. Glad you fellas stood far enough back that you didn't get hurt. Now, we know that that doesn't happen very often, but what can technicians do to protect themselves during AC service?
Well, I think the point that we need to discuss here at the moment is in a bar chart that we have here. And Max ran a survey. We've run it a couple of different times, and this is some survey that we ran recently of potential leaks in the system. And this bar chart will show us that the leakage areas could occur both in the engine compartment and also in the passenger compartment. So if we take a look at the chart, we see over here on the extreme right-hand side the evaporator, and you can see the percentage of the cars were pretty high that had evaporator leaks. And of course, as the cars get older, the evaporators will get weaker and they have a tendency to leak. The other one, of course, that shows on the highest on the list is the hose assemblies in the engine compartment. So with the hose assemblies being up in the 16–18% area, they're all potential leak sources, and then we have potential leaks into the engine compartment. So it's not limited to one part or the other of the car. You've got leak potentials any place.
Now, Rick, what happened chemically to make a refrigerant like that explode?
Yeah, now this is of particular interest to me because I was a scientist in the Air Force. And one of the things we dealt with was developing weapons for use in warfare. And one of the things we tried was we wanted to take a flammable liquid, mix it with the air, and cause it to detonate, and then be able to use that as a weapon. The reason it can be so powerful is most explosives, a good portion of the weight in the explosive is the oxidizer. They have to actually carry it with them. With this kind of a fuel, the oxygen comes right from the air, so you don't have to put it and carry it with you, so it can be very, very powerful. And those of you might have heard about this weapon during Desert Storm. It's called a fuel air explosive. The weapon was actually used very, very effectively. So This is the kind of thing you're dealing with whenever you get flammable liquids mixing with air and making a cloud and then having the opportunity to explode.
Ward, you are a real stickler for safety, which is a really good trait. Could you share with the audience some things they should remember when they're handling refrigerants or doing a retrofit?
Well, I think Vince talked about it earlier in the program. The first thing that we really have to be concerned about today now is identifying what's in the car, and whether or not it's a flammable refrigerant might be a point of concern, as this other demonstration has shown us. But certainly the use of the proper equipment, both safety equipment for the individuals and also using the proper equipment, are going to be major issues as we enter into the future years of servicing.
And here's a group of safety-conscious technicians, Vince with his students, Daryl, Samantha, and Wade. How's the process coming?
Process is coming along fine. We're still on the evacuation stage of our retrofit process. We've got a couple more minutes left before we will insert the PAG oil into the system. Once again, I just want to reemphasize the fact that we will be putting R134A into the system shortly. But one question I'd like to pose to our audience for answering later in the broadcast will be, what is the first step of our procedure that we really need to identify prior to, the retrofit process, or even at that servicing and air conditioning system? And in addition to that, why is that